In this video, I will analyze the CSS Essay Paper 2025 in detail. I will classify each essay topic based on its nature, whether it is philosophical, political, economic, social, legal, or environmental. Additionally, I will categorize each topic according to the type of essay it demands: descriptive, narrative, or argumentative. Understanding these classifications is essential because it helps candidates structure their essays effectively, ensuring clarity, coherence, and a well-balanced argument. Essay writing in the CSS exam is not just about presenting ideas. It's about critical thinking, organization, and argumentation. Some topics require logical reasoning and factual analysis, while others demand philosophical reflection or storytelling techniques. Identifying the nature and type of each essay question is the first step toward writing a high-scoring essay. Let's begin by classifying each essay topic one by one. Patriotism is supporting your country all the time, and your government when it deserves it. This is a political and social topic that falls under the argumentative category. It requires an analytical discussion on patriotism, distinguishing between blind nationalism and constructive criticism. Candidates must present arguments with historical and contemporary examples. Brains, like hearts, go where they are appreciated. This topic is philosophical and social, requiring a descriptive and narrative approach. It explores human potential, migration trends, and intellectual appreciation in societies. A mix of philosophical reflection and real-world examples would work best. Reforestation as a global urgency, an environmental and economic topic that demands an argumentative approach. It requires discussion on climate change, deforestation, and policy measures. Candidates should argue why reforestation is crucial and support it with global case studies. Hamas-Israel conflict, a test case for world conscience. This is a political, international relations, and human rights issue that requires an argumentative approach, a highly political topic requiring a critical analysis of international diplomacy, humanitarian concerns, and global response to conflicts. Rich in politicians, we desperately need statesmen. This topic is political and social in nature, falling under the argumentative category. It calls for a distinction between politicians and statesmen, analyzing the leadership crisis and governance issues worldwide. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice, a philosophical, legal, and social topic requiring an argumentative and descriptive discussion. Candidates must define true peace, discuss justice as its foundation, and provide historical and contemporary examples. To reign is worth ambition, though in hell. A philosophical and political topic requiring an argumentative and descriptive approach. A reflection on ambition, power, and its consequences. This topic can be explored through historical figures and literary references. Frailty is no more the name of woman, a social and gender studies topic requiring an argumentative and narrative discussion. This essay should discuss the evolution of women's roles, breaking stereotypes, and providing examples of female empowerment. Dynastic politics is the worst mockery of democracy, a political and social topic that falls under the argumentative category. Candidates must argue against dynastic politics, its impact on democracy, and propose reforms with case studies. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. An educational, economic, and social topic requiring an argumentative and descriptive approach. A discussion on the value of education in economic and social development, with examples from different countries. By understanding these classifications, candidates can tailor their essays with the appropriate approach, ensuring depth, clarity, and logical flow. Now let's move forward and analyze each topic in detail, breaking down their key discussion points. Patriotism is more than just loyalty to one's country. It's a commitment to its progress, justice, and prosperity. But does supporting a government blindly make someone a true patriot? Mark Twain once said, "Patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it." This means that real patriotism involves holding leaders accountable, ensuring that governance benefits the people rather than a select few. Throughout history, societies that embraced critical patriotism have thrived, while those that suppressed dissent have suffered. When citizens challenge corruption, advocate for human rights, and demand transparency, they uphold the true spirit of patriotism. From Martin Luther King Jr.'s fight for civil rights to Jinnah's vision for Pakistan, History is filled with examples where standing against flawed policies was the most patriotic act. True patriotism is about progress, not blind allegiance. Brains, like hearts, go where they are appreciated. Talented individuals seek environments where their skills are recognized and nurtured. This explains why many professionals leave their home countries in search of better opportunities. The phenomenon of brain drain is a global issue. Countries that fail to reward talent lose their brightest minds. Nations like the US and Germany have built their economies by attracting the world's best talent. On the other hand, countries that neglect meritocracy struggle to retain their intellectual capital. If societies want to thrive, they must create opportunities that encourage innovation, reward excellence, and provide an environment where intelligence is valued. Otherwise, the best minds will continue to leave, seeking appreciation elsewhere. Reforestation is no longer an environmental choice, it is a global urgency. Deforestation has led to climate disasters, water shortages, and biodiversity loss. The Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the earth, is shrinking at an alarming rate, threatening global climate stability. Countries like China and Ethiopia have launched massive reforestation projects, proving that large-scale efforts can reverse environmental damage. Pakistan's Billion Tree Tsunami Project is a step in the right direction, but much more needs to be done. Without aggressive action, the future of our planet remains uncertain. Reforestation is not just about planting trees, it's about securing life itself. The Hamas-Israel conflict is not just a political struggle, it is a test of the world's conscience. The ongoing violence, displacement, and human suffering raise serious questions about global justice and the selective response of international powers. The media's portrayal of the conflict often reflects political interests rather than human realities. While some nations receive unwavering support in their struggles, others are ignored or blamed for their oppression. A just resolution requires the world to look beyond biases and take a stand for peace based on fairness, not political expediency. The question is, will global leaders respond to human suffering with genuine justice, or will they continue to turn a blind eye? Rich in politicians, we desperately need statesmen. The world is full of politicians who seek power for personal gain, but true statesmen are rare. Politicians think about the next election. Statesmen think about the next generation. Nelson Mandela, Abraham Lincoln, and Quaid-i-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah were statesmen who prioritized national interests over personal ambitions. Unfortunately, modern politics is often dominated by self-interest, short-term populism, and power struggles. Visionary leadership is the need of the hour. Leaders who focus on policies that create long-term progress rather than winning votes through empty promises. Without statesmen, governance becomes a cycle of corruption and inefficiency. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. A society without visible conflict is not necessarily a peaceful one. If injustice prevails, unrest will eventually follow. The Black Lives Matter movement in the US, the Kashmir conflict, and the apartheid struggle in South Africa all highlight that peace is meaningless without justice. Societies that ignore systemic injustice only create temporary stability, while true peace is built on fairness, equality, and respect for human rights. To achieve lasting peace, societies must address grievances, uphold the rule of law, and ensure that justice is not a privilege for the few, but a right for all. To reign is worth ambition, though in hell. The desire for power is deeply rooted in human nature, but when ambition becomes unchecked, it leads to destruction. Shakespeare's Macbeth is a classic example of how the lust for power can consume a person. History is full of leaders who were willing to sacrifice morality, justice, and even their own people for the sake of ruling. Hitler's obsession with dominance led to his downfall, just as countless other dictators have fallen due to their hunger for control. Ambition, when guided by wisdom and ethics, can be a force for good. But when power becomes the ultimate goal, it often turns heaven into hell. Frailty is no more the name of woman. The outdated perception of women as weak is rapidly fading. From politics to science, business to sports, women have proven that strength is not defined by gender. Malala Yousafzai's fight for education, Angela Merkel's leadership in Germany, and Serena Williams' dominance in sports all challenge the stereotype of female fragility. Women are not just equal to men. They bring unique strengths that contribute to society's progress. The real challenge is dismantling the barriers that still exist: cultural norms, workplace discrimination, and unequal opportunities. Strength has no gender, and it's time the world fully recognized that. Dynastic politics is the worst mockery of democracy. When leadership is inherited rather than earned, democracy loses its essence. Political dynasties in South Asia, the Middle East, and even Western nations prove that power often stays within families, limiting opportunities for true democratic representation. In countries where dynastic politics dominate, governance becomes about preserving power rather than serving the people. Democracy is meant to empower the people, but when elections become family affairs, the system becomes a farce. Merit, not lineage, should decide leadership. A nation cannot progress when the same families continue to rule without accountability. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Education is the single most powerful tool for progress. Countries that prioritize education, like Finland and Singapore, have seen economic growth, social stability, and technological advancement. On the other hand, nations that neglect education struggle with poverty, unemployment, and stagnation. Knowledge empowers individuals, strengthens societies, and drives innovation. Investing in education is not just a policy choice, it is a necessity for any country that hopes to compete in the modern world. The returns on this investment are not immediate, but they are the most valuable in the long run. A well-educated society is a strong, progressive, and prosperous one. Before we wrap up, let me tell you what's coming next. Understanding these essay topics is just the first step. Writing a well-structured, high-scoring essay requires a deep understanding of how to present arguments, organize thoughts, and support ideas with relevant examples and case laws. In my upcoming videos, I will guide you through the complete process of essay writing for each of these topics. I will break down every essay in detail, starting with how to craft a strong thesis statement that captures the essence of the topic. Then I will show you how to create a well-structured outline, ensuring clarity and logical progression of ideas. We will go through the breakdown of key arguments, discussing each point in a way that strengthens your stance. I will also cover discussion points with historical references, real-world examples, and relevant case laws to add depth and credibility to your essay. Moreover, I will highlight the 3 essential parts of essay writing. 1. Introduction: how to grab the reader's attention, define the scope, and present a compelling thesis. 2. Main body: how to develop arguments logically, maintain coherence, and support claims with strong evidence. 3. Conclusion: how to sum up your arguments effectively and leave a lasting impact on the reader. By the end of this series, you will have the skills to write essays that are not only well-structured, but also persuasive and impactful. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos where I will take you step by step through the art of essay writing.